All right, great. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for taking your time to be here, especially on extremely short notice. Here's what I've been thinking about a couple different things, and some of it not too recently. Some of it have been thoughts over the years of what do we need to do? How can we help people? So basically, with the introduction of Penny, have any of you checked out the Penny app yet?
I've seen the videos vaguely, just the posts of them, but I haven't. Just too much has been going on.
Okay, and not a problem. That's very fair. So with the Penny app, the company brought us a program, and it's free unless you upgrade, and then it's $12 per month, and you can certainly do the free. So if you haven't uploaded it yet, you can. It's just Penny, Penny app. Penny Direct is also one way to find it. It's a little girl, a symbol of a girl. She's purple. But anyways, what they did is basically that's a personal assistant saying, hey, Craig, I know you have 10 minutes today. Here's some people to connect with. Here's why you want to connect with them. And here's some verbiage or videos or information of what you can send to them. Go have fun. And so it's really simplified, extremely simplified. You can take 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time you have to do this. And there's lots and lots of trainings on that. That's not what I want to talk about tonight. I'm just kind of mirroring these conversations. And so that's Penny app and really great. But then I also found at the same time that it excited people, but then it also overwhelmed people. So I've been trying to help the team not be overwhelmed by it. Once you understand it, once you're in, it's super easy. There's just that little learning curve that did some overwhelming. So then I was looking at our Thursday events, and from the get-go, the whole purpose of the Thursday events, there's a few purposes. There's a purpose for our friends and community, and there's a purpose for our team. So the purpose for our friends and family is to bring them together, to share information, provide a community of a safe place, positive, like-minded people, give them a group of people who are positive. Unlike so many other things that are happening in our world, we want to basically put our arms around these people while sharing our success stories of people doing the nutrition and our health and our wealth programs, right? For the team, the whole purpose of doing it for the team was to give you a place where you could invite people to come, the stories being shared on the events, and we're changing a couple things just so you guys know that, but the stories on the events are, and the information presented would sell them, so that your job is to invite them, get them on the call, follow up with them, and then enroll them, and then we teach you how to coach them. It wasn't happening quite as much as I would like, right? There's a lot of work put into these Thursday night calls, and we weren't having as many people jump on them from our team members as we had hoped. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to help people to get on these calls yourselves? And thank you guys all so much for coming on. But how can we help people to invite people to get on these calls? Because it really truly should be that. We make money, we build a business, we help other people by inviting them to learn about the product and inviting them to learn about our wealth program. And so hence the Thursday calls. So what we've done a little bit yesterday and today, and I can't say it's perfected whatsoever, but I didn't want to waste any more time because I know some of you are ready to go, right? Like Craig is like, give me the information, I'm ready to go. And so that's what I wanted to provide, right? So we spent some time this morning going over scripts that you could copy and paste, scripts that could give you a ground base. I like that, but that's not exactly my personality, so I'm going to change it this way. Or the more you do stuff like this, which is what I do, I get a script, whether I make the script or I get it from somebody else, and I do it for a few times, and then I change it a little bit according to how it kind of feels for me.
Yeah,
So
personalize it.
we've taken everything that we could think of and written out a script. So we have a script to help you reach out to your friends to invite them to the Thursday calls. If they say yes, if they say maybe, if they say no, you've got a response. Because that's some of the things that have stopped people in the past. But what do I do if somebody says yes? Where do I go? What do I say? There's an answer. All right, well, what if someone says no? How do I continue the friendship? We have the answer for you. But then there's also a script to remind them about the call, or actually truly invite them to the call with the information, remind them, and then do the follow-up. The things that I don't have in this place, which is a whole different topic, and it's all planned out and systemized already, is the coaching of once they enroll. So we'll continue to teach you how to actually physically enroll people, as well as once they enroll, how to coach them. So this is like phase 1, there's phase 2 and phase 3. Just know that. But you can literally do this in the pockets of your time of copying and pasting these messages to find out who has an interest. Hopefully they say yes to you as well as on the invite, and remind them. And then we take pictures of people on the call so we know who attend. So then you can follow up with those that did attend or those that told you yes but didn't attend. How does that sound?
Pretty basic. I mean, as long as you have to throw your own personalization into it, because if you're reading from a teleprompt, then it sounds too scripted, and it makes people uneasy, and you kind of lost them from the get-go.
Yep, that's it. Exactly, Rocky. And so you might change it a little bit, but it gives you a really good base that you're like, well, this is more me. And we did different scenarios. So that's what I was asking you, if you would like more of a soft approach, a medium, or a more bold approach. And so we gave you the 3 different scenarios, and we gave answers for if they say yes, no, or maybe, based on soft, medium, or bold. And you can play with it, just totally play with it, but it gives you all that information. I'm going to pick on Jamie for a second, because Jamie and Stacia were, and there she goes. Come back, Jamie. Jamie and Stacia were at my house a few weeks ago, and we did a script for her specific network, which are servers, people in the bar, the restaurant industry. And we just sat there and talked out a script. She wrote it down. All she needed to do was type it up and send. And it made a lot of sense. Come back to me, Jamie. It made a lot of sense. I was explaining when you were at our house, when we talked out the script and then you wrote it down. And then to have us actually converse that script, where if somebody was reading it, or if you're doing video messenger with somebody, what it felt like to be on the receiving end, so that it comes across correct. And so we've tried to do that today. However, know that it's not perfect in any way, but it's a really good ground base, the best that we could give you today without continuing to research it, which I'm going to have a few other leaders look at it over the next couple of days. And if there's any other changes that we feel should be needed. But basically, you are going to be a little bit of an experiment. All right, so know that. So give us the feedback. We're going to experiment with it as well. And we're going to do a couple different things with video messaging, so that it's a video or an audio where you could kind of read it and text it out and see where do people respond. But the original message that I sent to many of you, I think I sent it to about 40 people, and 12 of you responded with yes. Give me some information so I can invite people to help me build a business. So we know that one worked. And I've got that one in there. So this is for your friends on social media, or however you connect with people. It's for people that you've already enrolled, whether they're interested in the business or just interested in the customer. And so we've got all of that broken down. So again, you can grab it. So talk to me. How does this sound to you guys?
Hey, this is Craig. I think it sounds amazing. I mean, anytime you can get scripts from people that have already led and already been successful in the business, I think it's good. I like when you said um, talking about what if they say yes, because that's like, oh man, that's a whole nother world. It's like just inviting them to the meeting, but what if they come back and say yes, I want to start doing this? That's a whole nother world. So I'm excited to see how
Good.
this works out. And I think it just, when it comes to scripts, like Rocky said, is you can make it your own, but at the same time, you don't want to stray too much, because you want to work on what works and go from there.
Right.
There's going to be no's, but you can't concentrate on the no's.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Craig. I really appreciate that. So when I show you the scripts, I'll show you as much as you want to be shown, and there's a reason for that. But there's some that are a little bit more lengthier than others, and there's some that are really short and to the point. And they're not even necessarily our bold ones. They're just shorter. We will continue to look at these to see how we can make them shorter. That's kind of our purpose right now over the next couple of days, is to shorten them again, because people do want things short and sweet. But then at the same time, if you're not necessarily a short and sweet kind of person and you talk more, which most people that are nervous to message people are that way. So we wanted to fit your personality as much as possible. But we have a lot of short and sweet ones. Okay, good. Now, the other thing is, in what I like about Penny, is Penny will actually go into your back office and anything that you have going on, and she'll tell you, you need to connect with these people because. So I'm going to have you guys set Penny aside for right now, just so that we can really perfect one area. And we have these Thursday events, right? It's open to the entire company, but not everyone knows about it. Thursday events are very special, and they're very specialized to our team members. So let's focus on these. This Thursday, we have 4 people telling their health stories, 1 telling her wealth story. Next Thursday, I think I have 3 to 4 telling their health stories, 1 telling their wealth story. So we've got a lot of that. And we're going to kind of shy away a little bit from the big names that are talking more about business, because we want to bring in more opportunities for our friends and people that have never heard of Isagenix, don't know anything about it, so that they can hear these successful health stories, and we provide light on what do we do for people as an individually, not as a large organization. So know that that's coming up. I'm also possibly getting rid of the after chat so that we can go back to the 45 minutes, because 45 minutes sounds so much better than 1 hour. So I have a partner involved, so we have to come to terms together. We just haven't discussed it yet. Those are going to be some of my more main changes right now. But the thing is who do we connect with is usually another question. So I'm going to make this so simple. We're going to gather as a team, everyone that's interested in doing this. So we got to figure out, do we want to gather on Zoom? Do we just want to have a thread? Do we want to have a Facebook group? Just to ask questions and to let each other know how you're doing. You know, simple, nothing major whatsoever, just communication. I know everybody's in a lot of groups, but a group might be the best way to do this. But we're going to go through our alphabet. So if you're using Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and we're going to go A through Z. And so this week, we're going to go through all of our members that have A. When you punch in A in Facebook, all your people with an A, whether first or last, come up. And that's who you connect with. Now, if you run out of people and you need more, I'll have suggestions for more. And then the next week we'll do B, and then C and D. And then that way you're not going all kinds of different directions. You're staying extremely systemized, and you connect with every single person that you're in touch with. We've done the scripts in a way that whether you have had a relationship with them, you haven't, or you've only spoken to them minimally, this should come across well. Our point, though, is to not have you make friends, really honestly. It's to find out, do they have an interest in what we offer? and get that information pretty quick without being salesy. So that's what we really focused on with these scripts, on how can we connect with someone? How do we feel good? How do they receive it? Of that person does care for me, but this is what I have to offer. Does this work for you? Is this something you want?
Well, for me personally, the common connection with cancer and the groups that I'm in that are part of, I have mentioned that I am a consultant with the health and wellness company, but I don't go any further than that. And I haven't had any bites back, but that doesn't mean that I can't or won't. So, just the same with Elizabeth and William and Diana. It was just all a friendly approach as far as I'm concerned. Because we had the common issues. I can't just, I could, my personality, I could do it and walk up to somebody on the street and, just start a conversation about anything. We could be talking about the dirt and, go into isogenics or whatever the case. But for anybody, I think, you find that common ground and then you lay the bridge work, and it's that much easier to traverse into, okay, how do you feel on a daily basis? What would you want to improve on? How can I help? Because I'm associated with this.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what you've done, Rocky, is beautiful, because you've already established a relationship, you've established a friendship without being a salesperson. Now you can come back and we can customize yours a little bit. You won't have to change it much. And you'll be like, hey, I've never offered this to you, but we do an event every Thursday. And sometimes there's a few different cancer survivors in there, not always, but sometimes. But you might be intrigued to hear about these stories, because it's a lot of stories that a lot of cancer patients go through. Low energy, weight gain, not feeling good. And you can hear these stories and see if this might be a way for you to help yourself to gain better health.
At the same time, though, a majority of the groups that I'm in, there's no soliciting whatsoever. So that's why I never mention the name first. And I kind of follow some of the conversations, especially the ones that are low on energy. And I've been real bad about it. I'll admit I have not tried to do anything in quite some time. Just, as I said, I've had a lot going on, and it's been an upsetting year. But anyway, so I follow some of the conversations that are going on, and for the ones that are chemo, low energy, I kind of pick them out and I will private message them. And so then I kind of go from there.
Yeah. And what you've done, Rocky, is absolutely astounding. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, Rocky, of course, himself is a cancer survivor. He's connected with different people in these stories. He's looking for the ones with the low energy. We have several of them in our group, because he'll ask them, you want to come into our group? It's a great positive community. We offer support, healthy lifestyle, healthy eating. Would love to have you in there. William is my favorite success story, because William told Rocky, yeah, and he got into our group. Rocky invited him, I think, to get to know us. We did a thread between him, myself, and Annie.
Yes.
And Rocky, or William, we asked William to come on to our Thursday event call. He came on. He fell in love with the story. I don't even remember which one. And then immediately after that, we connected again, thanking him for coming. And he's like, oh my gosh, this is what I need. Can we talk more about it? The next morning, he went into the hospital. He was in the ER having some issues with his health. And he's like, I have got to get started. And now William started right away, had a great experience. Now he's enrolled so many different family members, I think like 4 sisters and a niece, and he keeps talking to more and more people and a friend, and he gets all of them on these calls as well. So he's duplicating everything that Rocky did, and it's extremely successful. And that's all William does. So this is how William does it. He finds out what their issues are. He lets them know, I have a way to solve your situation. Come and meet some of my people. They have all kinds of great information. They're the experts. We invite them on the Thursday call. They hear these stories and they're like, oh, that's what I've been searching for. He follows up and he enrolls them. That's what should be happening on these calls. And so that's why I love William, and we'll get William on a call very soon as well. And so Rocky, so you and William can speak, and maybe we'll find some other cancer survivors, but we can make it a cancer survivor call. We can't say that, of course, but you can invite all of those people, and we can reach out to our friends. We've gathered quite a few people who have gone through cancer treatments, whether chemo or radiation, to talk about their journey afterwards and how they have implemented health solutions to help them in their life today. I would love to invite you to this in case it's something you've gone through, or I know you've gone through something like this, or if you know of other friends, this is a way we've been helping people. And you just come across it, like when I say it will be bold, it may not necessarily be bold. It's just done in a quick, are you interested or are you not interested manner, but always friendly, right? We always want to keep this friendly. But again, with the scripts, I don't want to do scripts that you're just gaining a relationship with somebody and you have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's, are you interested in what I have to offer? We like each other. However, do you want what I have to offer? Because I'm offering it right now. So we get more to the point of everything. And you can move on and you can do massive numbers. There's rules with how many you can send out. We'll talk about that when we get closer. All right, other thoughts, questions, and comments about this?
Jam just sent me a message and it popped up real quick and then it went away. I couldn't read it, so.
Okay, Rocky, I say keep in with your group and get with Annie and Steph on communicating with the commenters.
Oh, all right.
They will help you get that very unsolicited hello. Yeah. So
Okay.
you can go into your groups. And I know for Jamie and Rocky, you guys have very, very specific groups and networks of people that you work with. Certainly feel free to do that. But with what we've got going on, I want it to be a little bit more systemized for you, because even if the scripts are super easy, I've watched Jamie, and Jamie, if you don't mind, you can get out of touch and you can get off track. I really only want to work with people in the restaurant business. Let's do some scripts. Okay, great. I've got the scripts. I'm going to reach out to as many people as I can. Life gets off track and you don't know who to contact. So if we say this week, we're going to do all of our C names, and then you get on Facebook and you go to your C names, and that's what you focus on. Next week, we're going to D. So you better go through all of your C names because we're moving on. And nobody wants to be left behind, right?
No.
Do you think that's helpful, Jamie? Because I watched you struggle.
No, I really do, because we've talked about trying to do this. I've actually attempted this before on my own. And, you know, when you get upwards of 1,500 Facebook friends, it's very inundating, overwhelming. So, yeah, no, I think this is extremely helpful.
Great. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Any other questions? And then I'm going to talk about the scripts. Anything? Y'all good? All right. Hopefully Craig comes back. All right. Let me get my scripts. And again, like I said, we might change a few things. Nothing to stress about. Here's my word. All right, we'll just go here. Okay, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So let me see if Craig is coming back on. He might be having internet issues.
Yeah, I logged in about 4 or 5 minutes early, and then he was the second one.
Able to come back. I'm going to start the scripts now. Okay. So yeah, he may have to. All right. So what I have also learned over time is that, I hope I'm still recording, right? I should be. Can anyone see if it's being recorded?
It says recording on my end.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay,
it reads recording on mine too.
Excellent. Okay. So what I have learned over through a few different mentors is that if we overwhelm anyone with too much information, they just don't do it. Hence Penny. So this is what we have done today. And, there's quite a few different pages. And we had to, in order to make this work. I have 10 pages, but it's all broken up. So I can either send you just what you're interested in, or I can send you everything. You print it out and then just keep handy what you want for right now, which might be 1 page, maybe 2 pages. And then if you want to kind of look through the scripts later, you can look through those or use those. And then we have a website that we're building. We'll have all this in the website. I'm going to have this in the units so you can grab it at any time. But the thing is I just don't want to give too much that you set it aside and say, can't do that. So just for an example, here's a close friend invite. This is the one that I did to quite a few different friends for last week, and I did get a great response. So I have my, can I send you the invite? And if they say yes, which I can't get rid of the blue highlight, if anyone can help me with that. If they say maybe, which most don't say maybe, and a lot don't say no, but what if they do? And then you can ask that. Here's a reminder so that you can remind them about the call anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour beforehand. That is important. We have to spend the time to do that. But you can do text replacement. So if you're going to be doing this from your phone or Messenger and you're not able to copy and paste, just set up a text replacement, hashtag reminder, and then it will take you seconds to go through the people that said that they were going to attend. Now, in reality, you're probably going to get anywhere from 1 to, at the most, 10 people every week to say yes. Really, honestly, not team members, just your friends. So it's not a ton that you're going to have to remember. But you want to write them down and remember them because you want to follow up with them later. So here's your follow-ups. Again, you can do a text replacement for all of this stuff. And you can use Penny if you want to. Here's our soft invite, which does have a ping pong conversation. So if you're not one that wants to get straight to the point and be very bold, and you want to just kind of start a relationship with them, hey, Craig, glad you're back on. If you want to just softly start that conversation, then it goes through all of that. All right, if you're middle of the road and you want to do a little general invite, we have one for general, we have one for business, which most people, even if they are interested in the business, they really come to the table for the products. And then it turns into business. So if they say yes, if they say maybe, if they say no, reminder, follow up. So that one's 2 pages, right? The other ones were just 1 page each. Bold, we have a few. So we gave you a decent amount of different scripts for those that want to be bold, because the people who want to be more bold, you don't want to interact with me as much. And I get that. I'm that person, right? I want the information. I want to just be able to run my business. I want to be able to go. So we just gave you a ton of different opportunities so that you could just go for it. So that's about 3 different pages of different things for that. Now we also have, oops, I'll fix that. So one you can send to your team members, people you've already invited into the team, just as customers, or business associates, a very short customer approach. Hi, I hope you are doing great. I wasn't sure if you knew about the virtual events our group has started, but every Thursday, our group gets together to hear amazing success stories. I love them, and I think you would too. Can I send you an invite? Right? Super simple, super like, are you interested? And then here's some of the other invites that we didn't use that I used last week that I got a great response from. So you can type these out. You can do text replacement. You can do a voice video. You could do a voice message. It's set up so that hopefully it just gives you that ground base of cool. I'm going to send this to every single one of my A's this week and invite them to the group. And someone said a chat. I'm not seeing it. All right. Thoughts, questions with that? Okay. Do you guys want me to send you all of them? Just the ones you're interested in? Or none at all? And I'm going to email them to you so that you have them in that way.
All,
All
Okay.
of them, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
all.
Be able to, yeah.
Okay, so I should have each of your email addresses. I got a little, I can't minimize. Hold on. See if I can minimize there. I just don't want to lose you. Okay. Let me make sure I've got everyone's email addresses. Okay, Tabitha, pears, peaches 38 at Gmail. Correct, okay. Rocky. What is yours, Rocky? It's something different.
Heart of Stone 316 at Gmail,
Right.
but the O and of is a 0.
Yep, okay. Got it. Janie
You got me. Jamaica LW.
at Gmail.
Yep.
And Craig Stefan
A
30 at
new
Yahoo.
one. No, I have a new one.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Craig Collins 265 at gmail.com.
What was after Craig?
Collins.
Craig Collins 265 at gmail.com.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Thursday income producing activity scripts. All right. So again, we may be making some changes. We may what did I put them under? We may change a few different things here and there. Use them as you want, but I don't want you to hold off. That's the whole purpose of everything, because you guys are ready. You want to get started and start sending this out. And our event is Thursday. So this is all set up for Thursday's event with the Zoom number, the Facebook invite, and so on. And what I will also do is go through each of the next few weeks. And I can't set up the invite until I make that Facebook invite, but the phone number is the same, the time's the same, and I already know what the subjects are going to be. So we can get started on those invites. But you don't want to invite people to the future ones unless you know it's something special. Like October 1st is for special needs kids. I've got a few different special topics coming up. How would you guys, we want to continue conversing. Are you guys okay if I start a Facebook group and we're just updating scripts, we're adding in the new ones, I'll add in the Zoom, you know, all of that. It's all going to be based around the scripts for Thursday nights. And then it allows us communication of, hey, I had a problem with this, or this is something that somebody said, or I sent out 200 invites, yay for me. I sent out 200 invites, 10 people responded and 10 people are coming. Are you guys good with that, or do you have a different way you'd like to communicate? I want to do something that you will continue to communicate and not let it die off.
I think the penny thing is a great idea. I just need to get more involved with it.
Okay. Anyone else? Thumbs up from Craig?
Yeah,
Okay.
Facebook group's good.
Okay. All right. So I'll call it, I'll let you know, but we'll probably call it Thursday income producing activity.
Thursday penny group.
Well, it's not the penny. This is different than penny.
Oh.
And I would recommend
Still
focusing on this, perfecting this before you add penny in, unless you've already been doing penny and you're comfortable with it. Don't try to to learn both, because you'll get confused and that's when we lose people. So just become
Okay, so
really laser focused and really good with one thing. Okay, I'll be adding people. Feel free to add people. You know, I'm all about one team, and I've got a few different groups that will be involved with this. Everyone has something to contribute. And so today I talked to 4 leaders, and I talked to one who's very, very soft approach. I talked to one who's very, very bold approach, and a couple that are right in the middle. So we'll continue to get different people's feedback. And as you guys get responses, you got to give the feedback. And don't worry, never, ever, ever worry if somebody ghosts you or if they don't respond. They're just not interested at this moment, or they didn't have a chance to respond. It has nothing to do with you or your message. All we care about are those that respond, right? I sent the same message out to 40 people. Only 12 people responded. And over the next couple of days, I'll be training those 12 people. I don't even concern myself with the other ones because it's not for them at this moment. Perfectly fine. Does anyone have a problem with rejection or anything along that line?
I'll get it eventually.
Oh,
You'll get it.
girls have rejected me since high school.
What's that?
Girls have rejected me since high school. I'm good.
And Craig, you know, we didn't know each other that well back then. Otherwise,
I know, you know, what can I say? You were after my
Craig and
brother.
I went to high school together, guys. His brother was in my class.
nice.
Jamie's my cousin. So just so you guys kind of know how we all know each other. But it's all just a matter of when
My
it's
brother was the smart one. I was the good looking one.
All right, that's very fair. Carl was the smart one. He really was. Probably still is, I'm sure. All right.
Oh.
I have a question.
Yep.
So it's not really a question, but on the topic of rejection, it's not really rejection. I feel like it's a questioning comment from someone that you know, like, love and respect. Does that make sense? So I feel like, you know, I could talk to someone I don't know every day about real estate title documents or what you need to drink. You know, those are my 2 capacities as far as working. So like I would talk to someone like about those things without any kind of inhibition or anything. But I think because, and if they didn't want it, you don't think twice about it. But I feel like it's not rejection that we get. It's just like adversity, if that makes sense. Like questions, not always not believing. I mean, there's different levels of it. So, and I feel like because it's someone that you know and you also like and respect, I feel like that's why it feels like rejection. So it's different to me to deal with that. It's not just like sales rejection. Here's how you deal with rejection. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely,
So it
Jamie.
feels like rejection, but it's not like your typical rejection, in my opinion. A lot of times it's just like, I don't understand. I need to know more, but you take it more personally. Like, how do you switch that around?
Craig, to answer your question, nope. Yes. So Jamie, what I would look at it because it's going to happen, right? It happens to me on a regular basis. Good friends don't understand what I offer. Good friends go through hardships, but don't come to me. Good friends order shakes from different companies, you know, all of that. And, you know, there's a little part that hurts, but at the same time, I can't focus on that because it will ruin everything else that I've worked so hard for.
Okay, I got it. I understand.
So whether, you know, because there's some people who don't like to buy from friends. They just
Right.
have that problem. I didn't grow up that way. You do buy from friends, is how I
Right, right,
grew
right.
up. So, okay, maybe that's not what they're saying. Some friends who don't believe in what we have for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't believe in what we have to offer, but I have to accept that. Okay. Some friends who really truly just want to live a certain way and don't bother me. I mean, I've had it all. I've had, don't talk to me anymore about Isogenics, or Isogenics is the only thing you care about. At what point are you going to start thinking about friends?
Oh my.
Right? And that was in the beginning. That was in the beginning of my career, but I still remember the words.
Right.
Um, and I was just coming from a standpoint of, I've got something to help you. And, over the years, you learn how to be more tactful about it. And even when I was very tactful about it, I still received I don't want to hear any more about it. I have really good friends who don't believe in network marketing. And they're like, network marketers are just scammers. All right. So you don't think I've helped anyone of all these different people that I've been around and
Right.
all these years in the business, and I still continue to have the same people? You don't think that I made a difference? And they're like, no, you're just trying to take their money or whatever. So I just have to agree and respect that they just don't understand what we
Okay.
have. That's all
Well,
there.
it goes back to that whole silly thing, they'll eat fried wings and drink beer, but you introduce something healthy and then they become an expert and have to research it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just gotta say, okay. And I have response in there for someone that says no. So if they say no, come back with that. Now, if they start to get harsh with you, because we are going to be reaching out to people we really truly don't know, right? If you're going A through Z, you're really not going to know probably 60% of them. And if they come back, because people are angry right now, right? We know that people are angry. They have really bad attitudes. And if they come back with something that's angry, just use that no script, or maybe we'll come up with another script for those that are angry. Not a problem. I just wanted to put it out there. You never know who's looking for what we have to offer.
Exactly.
And I wanted to offer. I'm always here if you need me.
Exactly.
Probably going to be my script. So I'll write
Yeah.
something like that up. And you just said that and brush it off. And if it gets into your head, I have 17 seconds to change my thoughts. I have 17 seconds to change my thoughts. And change your thoughts and move on, because those situations will ruin your future. And it's not you that's the problem. They're going through something that you then crossed into their path and they didn't like it at that moment. So just come back out of that path, go to somebody else's path, and you will find those that are looking.
Okay.
Well, it's that post that I did back some time ago that Stephanie, you gave me a love or something or other. See rejection as redirection.
Yeah. 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 And it happens to all of us. I have just really truly have learned that I only pay attention and focus on those that respond, and however they respond, right? If they respond bad or good, those are the ones that I need to give the attention to. Those that don't respond, I can't give you the attention because you're not giving it to me. So
Right.
I'm going to go. Now, if they respond in a bad way, then I just want to fix it with a simple, not a problem.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm
I
here if you ever
completely
need
get
me.
that. Yes, I have done customer service for long enough. I get that. I guess it's just weird because I've viewed all those skills that I've gained as ones you use with someone you don't know. You know what I mean? Just as like a cordial, polite greeting type of a thing, not as in dealing with day-to-day things necessarily. That makes sense.
Yep.
But
So,
everything you just said makes perfect
good,
sense.
good. So I'll come up with a couple different statements on if you get someone not so nice, of how to handle that. And it
And
really
those-
will, it will be as easy as, not a problem.
Right.
I really don't know what everybody is going through right now. I just know that there's a lot of hurt and there's a lot of people going through a lot of things. I can help people with this direction. If you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. In between, we don't ever have to talk about it again.
Right.
Let's just focus back on our friendship.
And that's the thing, is that's something I would normally say.
Right.
If you walked up to me, a perfect stranger, that's what I would say. And I'm telling you, everybody who's on this call, it's just this tiny little interaction that makes me go, okay, all right, that makes sense. That reads through perfectly. That's exactly how I would say it. I don't know. I think you just second guess yourself a lot. I don't know
Yep.
why,
Right.
but
Hence why I wanted to do this, because
Yeah.
that's why people don't reach out to people, because they start second guessing themselves
right.
and they just don't.
Yeah.
So what Jamie's really referring to is it really wants to feel like a ping pong conversation, right? I have this to offer. Would you be interested? Great. Here's the information. Excellent. What did you think? How did you feel about that? Is this something you'd be interested in? Great. Let's get you set up. And if you ever want to, ping pong it in real life, we can ping pong it and go back and forth so that you feel the pattern and you feel the ping pong happening within the conversation. If it ever feels or seems like it's very one-sided, don't do it.
It needs to be open-ended questions so that you don't come across as pushy and not giving them the time to ask questions that are pertinent to what their needs are.
Yep. So all of our beginning scripts are always, can I send you an invite? Would you like an invite? I always ask people, would you like the information? Would you like a video, before I just send it to them? Now, not to you guys as team members, right? You got to cut time, and you guys have kind of taken away the question of me asking that, because of course you should just want it, right? So I'm just going to give it to you. So that's why you guys don't see those scripts. You just see, hey, this is our call on Thursday. Here's the invite. Here's the information. You need to join, right? Because you've kind of have earned the way to bypass that question. And I've earned the way to bypass asking and wasting that time. But with our friends, that's not the case. We have to ask for their permission. I would also highly recommend, especially if they're friends. Now, if they're not friends, it's up to you to take this time. But I do highly recommend, and Bethany Krause is one that highly recommends, she will never send a private message to somebody without checking their wall to see what they're going through. And Bethany Krause is one of our top enrollers and earning the trip. And she's going crazy. And she takes the time, no matter what, to check out their wall, make sure it's not their birthday, make sure that their dog didn't just pass away, make sure that they're not suffering from COVID right now. What are they going through? She just looks at like the top 3 posts and then sends the message, looks at the post, sends the message, or refers to their post in a different way. So you don't want to just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Check them out. Make sure you're in alignment with their world right now, and then send the message. Does that work? Cool. Okay. You guys have the scripts. I'll set up the Facebook group. I'm going to do another training on this tomorrow. I'll probably do another one on Thursday. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to start sending some out and invite for Thursday? Okay, so when I get the Facebook group up, which I'm going to do right now, let us know. I did these posts, or I did these messages, and I sent out to, don't count. It's not about counting. I sent out to 100 people. So far, 3 have responded. Whoop, whoop. let us know so we all know what works. Or if you get some bad ones, let us know what the bad ones say so that we can redo that verbiage. And we may or may not. Was it that person or is it the verbiage, right? We'll gauge accordingly. The other thing is Facebook has rules. You can only send out the same message to about, it's roughly about 100 people at the same time. So you want to break it up. Our social media gurus recommend 30 in the morning, 30 in the afternoon, 30 in the evening. I do about 100 because I am not able to break up my day. But the minute you get a little warning of click on the boxes that have a hydrate, fire hydrant in it, you're already on their watch. Or if you're forwarding and it comes up error, you're done. You can't send out anymore and you're going to be kicked off private messenger for a few hours. So you want to be a little cognizant when you start getting into the upper numbers. Okay, Thomas at the Facebook group, let's get started. You guys ready?
Knock it out.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Let me know about questions. Thank you guys. I'm so excited. I really been wanting to do this for a long time. So let's all hold hands and make this work together.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks everybody. I gotta run. I'll set that up. Have a great night.
You too.
Appreciate your time.